One of the biggest news stories this week involving Donald Trump, but not involving the ongoing document scandal, was the fact that a federal judge, Judge Lewis Kaplan, smacked down Donald Trump's attempt to not sit for a deposition next week in the ongoing defamation lawsuit that he is facing that was filed against him by former reporter E. Jean Carroll, who alleges that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her in a department store fitting room in the 1990s. Donald Trump has been fighting this lawsuit tooth and nail, trying to get it dismissed, trying to get it prolonged, and none of his legal actions have worked. So now, barring any weird thing happening between now and then, because, I say weird thing because the last time Donald Trump was about to sit for a deposition, his ex-wife died, and so they did have to delay it. So barring any deaths in the family, barring any interference from the Supreme Court, Donald Trump will be sitting for a deposition on October 19th to answer questions about whether or not he did, in fact, rape E. Jean Carroll in a department store fitting room in the 1990s. Now, the reason the defamation lawsuit exists, for those who have not been following along with this case, is because E. Jean Carroll came out with these accusations. Donald Trump called her a liar, said she was too ugly for me to sexually assault. So she sued him for defamation, right? This is the president of the United States calling you a liar when your career is built around telling the truth. That is definitely damages. But here's the weird part about it. The United States Justice Department at the time, which was being run by Bill Barr, said, oh, no, you can't sue Donald Trump for this because he made those statements about you being a liar in his capacity as the president of the United States, right? It wasn't just Donald Trump saying it. It was the president of the United States defaming you. And therefore, because it's an official, presidential declaration, you can't sue him for work that he does in his official capacity. That's how it works. That is how there is this limited immunity for presidents, for lawmakers, members of Congress, senators, all of that. If it's within their official capacity, right, you can't sue them for it. So the DOJ stepped in. They're acting as his lawyers. Even though Trump's people are gone from the DOJ, the current DOJ said, unfortunately, because of the precedent they set, we have to continue representing him. I'll get more to that in a moment. But he is being represented by the Department of Justice. He still maintains it's his presidential statement that she's ugly and a liar. And the judges so far have not bought that. They've said, nope, absolutely not, doesn't count. You're still facing the defamation lawsuit. But back to the DOJ having to represent him, right? That is the argument we heard from Merrick Garland and our current DOJ. We have to do this. Cool. As I've repeatedly said, go find the worst attorney in this country you can find and make them handle the case by themselves. Like, don't give them a staff. You can totally rig the system against him. If you have to represent him, nobody says you have to give him the best of the best. Hell, you know what you could do? You could hire Rudy Giuliani to represent him. Speaking of bad lawyers, kind of seems right up Trump's alley, right? But there is nothing in anywhere that says you have to give him a good one. You could take a first year out of law school type person, bottom of their class, and put them on the case. You can stack the deck against him, and honestly, he deserves it. He stacked the entire judicial system against everybody else. Why not do the same to him this one time? Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.